This week in Crime Beat, the international art thieves and deadly duo known only as Romeo and Juliet have escaped again with another record-breaking heist. The duo, whose identity is unknown, but who gained international notoriety with the million-dollar heist from the Royal Museum of the Arts in Brussels, have been on the run since at least 1967. Their faces have never been captured on film and their identity remains unknown, but the pattern remains the same. Using charm and guile, the duo insinuate themselves into rarefied aristocratic circles, and then use those connections to make off with priceless works of art which appear on the black market anywhere from months to years later. This theft is being called the most audacious art theft in recorded history, not only because of the sheer monetary value of the works stolen, which are estimated to be in excess of $300 million, but because of the manner of theft. While Juliet bribed her way into a job as the maid of noted art lover and lifelong aristocrat Gabriel Ortega, her partner used his international channels and presumed military training to funnel arms into the country and train a rebel group. Using Ortega's wealth and power, Romeo and Juliet would coordinate strikes on art galleries, museums, and other places where private works were held. This incited the mania of Ortega, who began hoarding the objects in his own apartment, the very same which Juliet occupied. While Romeo and Juliet are usually active for no longer than a month or two in any one area to avoid detection, this heist lasted over 1 year of planning, but 1 year in which, thanks to the troubled political situation in Nigeria, they were unlikely to be discovered. Once the artworks had been collected in Ortega's apartment, the rebels were able to actually unseat the reigning dictator of the country, General Miraflores, whose body was famously paraded around the town before being hung and dismembered in the central square. As the rebel factions fought for dominance over the country, Romeo and Juliet both presumably used their connections to flee with the boxed works of art collected by Ortega. They left in their trail only impressions. Rebels spoke of an impassioned and charismatic leader who seemed fully invested in the future of Anchuria before disappearing utterly, while documents recovered from Ortega's apartment suggest a torrid and lengthy love affair with Juliet, who in this case was calling herself Angela Burns. Ortega himself was found dead in his bed, poisoned with arsenic, though it is unclear if the death was caused by Juliet herself or from remorse after her departure and betrayal. Romeo and Juliet are described as black, in their 20s, and of average height. They are known to speak English, French, and Spanish, and should be regarded as extremely dangerous and not approached. Any tips leading to arrests will be rewarded generously by an international peacekeeping organization and several art galleries. Stay tuned for details, and now, the weather.